I would like shortly to warn people from upcoming danger for humanity. The World Health Organization wants all countries to sign an agreement on handing over the authority to declare a pandemic, procure vaccine and drugs. It would be healthier and safer for humanity to sign an agreement with the Colombian drug cartel. They know all about the drugs for sure. During the COVID pandemic, World Health Organization only told lies about all things. It should be declared a terroristic organization, and their lives and health of billions of people it putting in their hands is extremely dangerous. They lie that is a new and unknown virus, that is possible to make an effective vaccine, that the vaccine is 82% effective, that it protects against serious illness and deaths, that all, of course, were foolish and lies. Today, World Health Organization is more dangerous organization for humanity than World Economic Forum. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And some asked us why it's us from Eastern Europe, the one who took the lead, I would say, in exposing and fighting the abuses that happened during the pandemic. And I answered them and I said, the reason why we did it, and we have two MEPs from Croatia, I'm from Romania, Christine was born in East Germany, is because we are, I would say, young enough to remember how it was to live in a totalitarian regime, in a communist system. And because we've been there, lived that, it's our duty right now to tell the world that we have to fight for freedom, we have to fight for liberty, and nevertheless we have to fight for truth. And what we've done yesterday here is to allow every expert, every doctor, every professor to present to us and to the world the findings after their professional research, I would say. And it's important for us as MEPs and as elected officials, regardless of the office that we are holding, to listen to real experts. Because unfortunately, for all these years, we heard more from bureaucrats, we heard more from NGOs who do not have any expertise in this field, but we barely heard anything from real experts, like Dr. Malone and all the others who presented their findings to us yesterday.
I would love to address my question to you, Christian Theres. How will you prevent the World Health Organization, how will you prevent the EU to take part and the national states to take part in the new treaty from the World Health Organization? Thank you.
First of all, that treaty will have to be ratified by these guys in the national parliaments. So it will be very important for you in every EU member state to make sure that you call on your elected officials in your national parliament to make sure that they will not ratify that treaty. And then the treaty will come to us in the European Parliament, to deal with it here. But the fight starts at the national level, which is why I'm calling on all of you to be involved at the national level. Make sure you petition your elected officials in the national parliament to stop this before it's becoming a recognized treaty in the international law. Any other questions?
Hello, my name is Marian, and first of all, I want to express my gratitude for these people in front of us here, for their pristine work that they brought to us, for us to understand the way of this SARS-CoV virus. Second, I will be very happy to see you again in Bucharest on the next summit, COVID summit, International COVID Summit. And one of my questions is, what will be next now? What is coming next? We know about the COVID, we know about the SARS. You did, like I said, a pristine work showing us and how it works and how it has been released to the world and so on. What is the next step? Are we fighting against the virus itself or against the people that released it? Or I don't know how to, I hope you understand what I mean. What is the next step? Thank
Yeah,
you.
I would like to answer that. You are indeed right. COVID was just, like I said yesterday, a test balloon, and the lessons they learned from this, namely, how did they fail and where did they fail to get the people to just do what they were told to, comply, and they will take this to the next level. So we're talking, of course, about digital ID. It's in preparation. We're already talking about this. The Parliament circumvented itself pretty much by taking, with a large majority, a vote to not even involve Parliament. It goes directly behind closed doors to negotiate the digital ID. The next thing we will be seeing is, of course, CBCD, the digital state currency. That will be the ultimate blow to depriving us of all of our freedom and privacy. And and of course these 15-minute ghettos that I already talked about yesterday. These are the next steps. And once again, I want to make it clear, we're not talking about some future projects 40, 50 years down the line. We are talking about as in right now that they're working on. And once again, we need the people on our side on this to fight this, to raise awareness, and to let their government, especially the national governments, know they will not deal with that, and they will not accept this. That's what we need the people for. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Herman Kelly. I'm Director of Communications for Mr. Therese. I'd like to ask Dr. Byram Bridle to give us his thoughts on the conference yesterday, please, and we'll conclude with that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Dr. Byram Bridle. I'm a viral immunologist at a university in Canada. And first, I just wanted to address the question that was just asked. So, from a scientific perspective, what I can tell you is after this conference, from my experience of the past 2 years, inevitably, everybody who spoke yesterday will be accused of having disseminated misinformation. I wanted to point out that what I saw yesterday was an awful lot of primary data presented. And when people are accusing us of disseminating misinformation, they never address the primary data that we have presented, nor do they provide primary data to demonstrate that what we have said is incorrect. So in terms of the future, when it comes to science, misinformation is something that we have to be very concerned about. And this, we need the press to help scientists around the world and physicians around the world in this area, because if you aren't aware, there's talks in pretty much every country around the world about the potential to criminalize misinformation. Fine scientists and physicians, fire scientists and physicians if they provide misinformation. This has to be of concern to the media, because you have to start asking yourselves, if that's the case, who are going to be the arbiters of truth if it's not going to be scientists who provide primary data? So that's a key thing you have to watch out for. The other thing is if you are not aware, the mRNA vaccines that were rolled out over the past couple of years, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The same companies are developing mRNA vaccines for other diseases, and you might not be aware, there is an enormous number of mRNA vaccines being developed for veterinary use. And that in of itself is also a potential concern to human health. So for example, we know that the mRNA vaccines can get into human breast milk. And therefore we have infants who are consuming undefined doses of these mRNA vaccines. These were never approved for that route of administration, nor to be administered to infants. And yet we now know that is happening. And if it could get into human breast milk, who's to say that they couldn't get into the milk, meat, and eggs that we consume? So I'm telling you, based on what I saw yesterday, there needs to be an immediate moratorium on mRNA vaccine technology until the very many legitimate scientific questions that have come up about this technology over the last 2 years can be definitively answered. And I'd just like to end with this. The thing I most appreciated about my experience yesterday was the fact that these MEPs here, these are heroes to me, and you should not only be proud of them here in Europe, but these are political leaders around the world, I can tell you. So the country that I come from does not allow open discussion about the science underpinning COVID-19. But what was allowed yesterday was uncensored, open, and honest discussion of the hard, objective data underpinning COVID-19 policies, and I would like to thank these MEPs for allowing us to do that.
Thank you.